afternoon, everyone. I'm a delegate, Aisha Braveboy, from the 25th Legislative District. I also serve as chair of the Legislative Black Caucus of Maryland. And on behalf of the Legislative Black Caucus, we are proud to be here today with Dr. McCaskill and her attorney, J. Wendell Gordon. Behind me are members of the Legislative Black Caucus from both the Senate and the House. And we have a statement, a brief statement that we want to release today. Dr. McCaskill's suspension, which resulted from her decision to sign a petition to have a piece of legislation that we voted on in the building right behind us, and to place that question on the November ballot, must be overturned. Article 16 of the Maryland State Constitution, which was passed in 1914 and ratified in 1915, states, "The people reserve the power known as the referendum by petition to have submitted to the registered voters in the state to approve or reject at the polls any act or part of any act of the General Assembly." For close to 100 years, the people of the state of Maryland have reserved this right for themselves so that we can have a true representative democracy. The reason why this issue is so destructive and has concerned so many is that it is a direct threat to our system of democracy. If a person's livelihood and the ability to provide for themselves and their families can be placed into jeopardy because they decided to exercise a basic constitutional right, then we risk our citizens deciding not to avail themselves of rights guaranteed by our Constitution. Therefore, we feel compelled to demand President Alan Hurwitz immediately restore Dr. McCaskill to her position as Director of Diversity at Gallaudet University without any diminishment of her duties and responsibilities. And further, we believe that Dr. McCaskill, we believe that the Board of Regents should investigate the actions of President Hurwitz and take appropriate actions to handle this matter so that we can restore the dignity of Gallaudet University and begin to repair the relationship with Dr. McCaskill. And so I'm going to turn the podium and the mic over to her attorney, J. Wendell Gordon. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I want to thank you all for your time and sacrifice of coming to Annapolis, some as far away as Washington, D.C., and other locations, to hear our concerns about what is taking place with Dr. McCaskill. We chose Annapolis because Annapolis is the seat of democracy. We also chose Annapolis because our governor, Martin O'Malley, had very strong words to say about what is taking place with Dr. McCaskill at Gallaudet University. So, because Annapolis is the seat of democracy, because this day of October 16, 2012 is the last day to register to vote, and because any myriad of reasons that support democracy and the democratic process, what better place to hold this conference than in the seat of Maryland's democracy and our governor and our respectful and respected legislators. I want to thank the Legislative Black Caucus for supporting us as we endeavor to seek justice for Dr. McCaskill. So, as I get started, I want to say this, and I want to be very clear about it. Let me set the record straight. Dr. Angela McCaskill, Chief Diversity Officer of Gallaudet University, is not and has never been anti-gay. Dr. McCaskill is pro-democracy and has a constitutional right to engage in the political process. She believes in tolerance and inclusiveness of all views, be they popular or unpopular. She believes in having intelligent and robust discussion of any viewpoint that challenges individual sensitivities and fosters better understanding. Only through intelligent discourse can we truly be enlightened, not through bullying, intimidation, and adverse employment action suffered by Dr. McCaskill in retaliation for taking a stand for democracy and the First Amendment. And for the record, Dr. McCaskill has yet to express her position on same-sex marriage. Her signature on the same-sex marriage petition for referendum that she signed in July 2012 merely represented her desires to, 1, have this matter decided through the Maryland democratic process, 2, allow Maryland citizens to become more informed on the issue through public discourse, 3, to enable Maryland citizens to cast their votes after thoroughly examining the issues and making an informed decision. Isn't neutrality, tolerance, and inclusivity what we would expect from a chief diversity officer? The answer is yes. Signing a petition to have same-sex marriage placed on the November ballot in Maryland's general election no more interferes or compromises Dr. McCaskill's integrity or qualifications as a chief diversity officer than it would if she signed a petition to place affirmative action or any other controversial issue on the November ballot. If her aim is to enlighten voters through public discourse and increase tolerance and respect for differing opinions, then it would be perfectly consistent with her neutral position as Chief Diversity Officer of Gallaudet University. It should also be noted that our President of the United States, Barack Obama, was originally against same-sex marriage until maybe 5 or 6 months ago. Through public discourse, which included intelligent and respectful exchanges of ideas, and his truly trying to understand both sides of the issue, his position changed. No one questioned President Obama's qualifications to lead this country based solely upon his personal views on same-sex marriage. He may have expended some political capital for his change in position, but he is still able to run the country effectively despite his personal feelings on the issues. If the President of the United States of America could run this country and represent all people in this great nation, despite his views on same-sex marriage, surely Dr. McCaskill can run the Office for Diversity and Inclusion at Gallaudet University. In fact, the main difference between Dr. McCaskill and the President on this issue is that Dr. McCaskill, again, has not opined publicly or otherwise what her position is on same-sex marriage. Again, her signature on the petition was merely an expression of her opinion that the matter should be submitted to the democratic process. As her attorney, I don't even know Dr. McCaskill's position on same-sex marriage. She has not disclosed it to me, nor have I disclosed my own to her. It is not necessary for me to properly represent her, nor is it necessary for her to receive my representation. It is a non-issue. For these reasons, we demand that Dr. McCaskill be reinstated, that she be compensated for the physical and emotional distress caused by this scandal, and be compensated for the irreparable harm that has been done to her reputation and goodwill, and as well as to her family. Dr. McCaskill loves all the students, be they gay, straight, white, black, yellow, brown, or whatever. It matters not. And she wishes to continue to serve them as Chief Diversity Officer at Gallaudet University. Thank you. Next, you will hear from Dr. McCaskill.
Good afternoon. I am happy to finally have this opportunity to talk with you, especially the students, faculty, staff, and Board of Trustees of Gallaudet University and the world. The last few weeks have been a tremendously horrific time for myself and my family. It has been a week that we will never forget. This nightmare began 2 weeks ago, on Wednesday, October 3rd, when I was approached by a faculty member of Gallaudet University, whose name is Martina Bienvenue. She is a faculty member in the Department of ASL and Deaf Studies at the university. She asked if I had signed a petition to put the question of same-sex marriage on the ballot as a referendum. I responded that I had, that I did sign such a petition. In this very moment, she determined that this signature meant I was anti-gay. No one has the right to decide what my signature meant. Only I could do that. MJ, Dr. Bienvenue, and her partner, Kendra Smith, wrote a letter to the president of the university asking that I be reprimanded. I offered to have a campus-wide dialogue on this very sensitive issue. I believe in civil discourse. I thought it was important that as a citizen of the state of Maryland, that I could exercise my right to participate in the political process. I am pro-democracy. I thought that this would have been an incredible opportunity to teach our campus. Unfortunately, that opportunity was lost. I think that the university has allowed this issue to escalate out of control, and it could have been handled much differently. They have allowed misinformation to be circulated throughout the campus community. They have attempted to intimidate me. They have tarnished my reputation and my 24 years of service. My record at Gallaudet University speaks for itself, and I ask to be judged by what I have done. A single mother in Mobile, Alabama raised me. She raised 5 children by herself. She taught us that education is the key to success, and your education is something that no one can take away from you. And she was right. You can take away my job, but you can't take away my education. I am proud to say that all 5 of these children are college graduates. 2 have earned PhDs. 1 has earned a master's degree, and the other 2 have bachelor's degrees. When I read President Hurwitz's email that he sent to the entire campus community, I couldn't believe it. I was shocked, hurt, insulted. I was humiliated. Not only for myself, but for the students of Gallaudet University. They deserve better. They look to us for guidance, and we give them this. It is utterly wrong. I view the president's email as a termination of my position, because that's exactly how I felt when I read that email. The content of the email did not allow for any resolution. The email stated that he would appoint an interim chief diversity officer. He disqualified me for my position as the Chief Diversity Officer. This brought me back immediately to the protest of 2006 that was orchestrated by just a few radical members of the community that pushed students to the front lines to debate their own agendas, not the students' agenda. It was not the students' agenda then, and it's not the students' agenda now. It was, in fact, just a few rotten apples. I'm dismayed that Gallaudet University is still a university of intolerance, a university that manages by intimidation, a university that allows bullying among faculty, staff, and students. I'm hurt to see that so many people took this information and determined that it was accurate, regardless of my outstanding service to the university. This situation has rapidly spiraled out of control. The university took this action against me because I was among 200,000 people that signed this petition. I exercised my rights. I felt it was important that we as the citizens of Maryland have an opportunity to vote. Many people know me and know that I have nothing but love for people. People ask me why I'm such a cheerful person, and I often tell them because there's God in me. When I wake up, I'm happy to start my day because I know that many people don't make it to see a new day. The Lord has given me something to celebrate. I have treated each and every person with nothing but love and support. Even though I am deeply hurt right now, I won't stop loving people. I have pushed for equality, social justice, for not just one group of people, but for all people. I have been very successful in doing what I was hired to do. I ask Gallaudet University to reinstate me to my position. Our students are watching. The world is watching. I want to thank so many people who have contacted me by email. You have no idea just how much you've kept my spirits lifted. I have received a number of very ugly, hateful, and deeply hurtful emails. But those emails of support and encouragement came from around the world. And I want to say thank you because that has kept me lifted. I want to thank the pastor of my church, Reverend Dr. Lee P. Washington of Reed Temple AME Church. I want to thank Tony Perkins of the Family Research Council, Josh Levin from Marylanders for Marriage Equality, Reverend Derek McCoy from the Maryland Marriage Alliance, and the Governor of the state of Maryland, Governor O'Malley, and so many other people whose names will go unmentioned today, but whose support is recognized. Thank you for giving me this opportunity and the time to speak with you. I pray and ask that you pray for Gallaudet University. We have some wonderful people there, faculty, staff, and students. I pray and I ask that the administration makes the right decision and to right their wrong. Thank you.